minute to turn on and let people know that we are about to get started. And also see if you guys can hear me and see me okay. So just a couple seconds while we get everything set up and going for today. Okay, so I know you guys can hear me and see me. As you're coming on in, please drop me down a comment and let me know that you can hear this stream okay. Let me know that you guys can see me okay. Just drop down your favorite emoji, or even just let me know like, hey, I can't wait for this topic, because I get asked this question so many times. I am really excited to bring this to you guys today. So let's see. As you guys are coming on in, let me know where you guys are joining me from. I always like to kind of get a feel for you guys who are here and joining me live, just kind of get a feel for where you guys are all at. So I am based in Texas now. Was in Seattle for some years, lived here before then, and from Chicago. So been a little bit all over, but I know a lot of you guys join me from all over the place. So as you come on in, let me know where you're joining me from and what you want to learn from today's live. So like I said, you guys, I get asked this question all the time about how do I get a smaller waist? How do I get a more narrow waist? How do I get rid of my lower belly pooch? So today it's going to be specifically focused on just making your waist more narrow overall. So if that's kind of you, let me know. And a big reason why I wanted to do this live stream is because not only do I get asked that question often, sorry about that, you guys. Not only do I get asked this question often, but if you follow me in my personal journey, my own fitness journey that I've been on for quite some time, you'll see before pictures of me, and I do not naturally have a narrow waist. Okay. I'm just not naturally built that way. I am a bit on the wider side. So I have had to learn some lessons over the years. There were some mistakes that I was making really, really early on in my training career that I didn't even know I was making, that led to my waist even being wider. And I've had to kind of work to undo some things. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 ways to just create a more narrow waist, a slimmer waist, a tighter waistline, a snatch waist, however you guys want to call it. So I'm actually going to pull up the some of the my YouTube feed, so that way you guys can see. I can see your guys' comments a little bit more real time, because there is a lag right now in the software that I'm using to stream and the software and YouTube itself. So just give me a couple seconds while I do that, so that way I can see your comments even sooner. So just a second, you guys. Okay. All right. So I got the YouTube side pulled up. So I know I'll be able to see your guys' comments a little bit sooner than when you do it. And what I'm going to do as my thank you to you guys who are watching me and catching me live, I will feature questions that are dropped here on the screen here, so that way everyone can see them. And as my thank you, I'll be answering any questions that you guys post here while I am live. Okay. So let me just kind of get started with a little intro for you guys who do not know me. I'm Brit Inez. I'm a body goal specialist and transformation coach. And women turn to me when they are tired of the rinse and repeat cycle of starting a new lifestyle journey, a new fitness journey, and failing over and over again because they can't stay consistent. They feel deprived. They feel bored. They feel like they're not seeing results. And I am all about making this a lifestyle so that you can love how you look and feel without being deprived of the foods you love to eat, because I'm a foodie and I believe in enjoying your life and also your body goals in the process. I don't think you should have to sacrifice them all, unless, of course, you have some really extreme goals, which we'll talk about more on a whole different kind of day. All right. So I have been getting asked this question so many times over the years. And it really is about, how do I just create a more narrow waistline or a slimmer waistline? So here's the thing when it comes to all of that. If you guys caught my last live stream that I did last week, it was all about how to better burn belly fat. So the first tip I'm going to talk about today is going to kind of piggyback off of that. And it really is to lose fat, because what happens is this. When you go to, anytime you want to create a more like narrow waist, right? You have to lose fat in order for you to even see what shape you have already. because a lot of women that I found that I've worked with over the years, they had an hourglass shape, but until they worked with me, they didn't really know it because they had so much fat like covering up their waistline that they couldn't even see what shape they already had. So there's a great chance that you already have a slimmer waist and you just don't know it because of how much body fat that you have. There's also signs of this if you have like a natural like hourglass shape, right? Meaning your waist kind of goes, your hips are wider than your waist, so you already have the illusion of an hourglass. Then you probably genetically will have a more narrow waist just because of how you're shaped. Because the other side of having a more narrow waistline is almost like creating an illusion, right? So if you're not one of those women that have that like that natural hourglass where your hips are wider than your waist, because not all of us have hips, right? And like hips are bones. So you can't really change that. You can't change your bone structure. Then there's other ways that you can kind of create that hourglass kind of shape, that hourglass kind of appearance. And that is also going to be to build your upper body muscle. Okay. So what I mean by that is this. If you ever look at someone who just has a really narrow waist, right? If once you look at them and you look at them from the back, what creates a narrow waistline is really being able to see that your back is a little bit wider, your shoulders are a little bit wider, your legs might be a little bit bigger, right? So sometimes what happens is it's a matter of you really just being able to kind of have an illusion of a more narrow waist. And one of the ways that you can accomplish that, if you don't already have like that natural hourglass shape like I'm talking about, is going to be to build your upper body more. So I'm not saying you have to get like really big and really wide or anything like that. But if your shoulders are rounder, right, and your upper back is a little bit wider, then your waistline is going to look smaller. So that's another way that you can kind of go about creating a more narrow waist, because you give off the illusion, right, of being larger here, smaller in here, and that's going to kind of give you that more dramatic hourglass kind of effect. Okay, so let me know if you've shied away from lifting upper body. It might be back exercises, shoulder exercises. You feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get bulky. Because I hear that from so many women, and they're so surprised once we start incorporating upper body work into their training plans, because then they start to see that they naturally are creating that more narrow kind of hourglass shape over time. Okay, so just don't shy away from it. Again, it's about doing the right exercises and the right amounts, and I can share a lot more about that with you guys. So as I'm going through today's live, if there are any areas that I touch on and you're just like, man, I wish she'd go a little bit deeper into that, drop me down a comment below. I am always interested in getting feedback from you guys on different topics that you guys want me to cover. And it's not far-fetched for me to go and even do an entire live stream or create a YouTube video on my channel just for that topic alone, okay? So here is another area that I see so many women making a mistake in. And honestly, guys, when I see it, I just want to cringe. But I believe in minding my business when I am inside the gym, because I don't like when people give me unsolicited advice either. But I see some women out there who are doing exercises that they just should not be doing, okay? So what I mean by that is a lot of times what happens with your core, you have to remember, right? Your abs, like they're a muscle. So any muscle that you apply weight to and do weighted work to, it's going to grow, okay? So when you look at your abs overall, you have what people consider like the 6-pack, 4-pack look, right? So you have ab muscles here, and then you have your obliques that run down the sides of your stomach. So if you're doing weighted oblique exercises, right, and those muscles already run along the sides of your stomach, right, and over time those muscles are going to become bigger, and you're adding more weights, and they're going to become bigger. That's going to make your waist thicker. So a lot of times when you see people doing things like weighted side bends, like when you're holding a weight in your hand and you're kind of like going down to the side like this, or anything where you're holding something like weighted, you might be kind of twisting like that, and you're using a heavier weight to do it, just know that that can actually thicken your waist. And you should also avoid weighted lower ab exercises too, because even if your waist isn't, even if you're like, even if, right, you say, oh, I want to get rid of my lower ab pooch, I think adding this weight on is going to help me to do it faster. What's going to happen is you're going to thicken the muscles that are right at the bottom of your core, right? So what I found that happened with me, and I wish I had the photos to show you guys, but before I started competing in 2009, a trainer I was working with prior to that believed in a lot of just weighted ab exercises. So the first time I went on stage, I was really blocky in my waist, y'all. I have to see if I can find photos for this actually show and feature, but I was really blocky the first time I was on stage. And it was because I had a lot of muscle, like my abdominals, like my lower abs, my obliques, and it was causing me to look really blocky. So after that, in order for us to get rid of it, I didn't train my abs for probably, gosh, y'all, about like 2.5 years, I want to say. So I'm not saying you have to necessarily do that, but if you are training your obliques, your lower abs, and you're using weights to do that, I would 100% recommend that you stop doing that like ASAP. Okay. And that is a big reason why I also created my 3-day ab challenge road to snatch, because I got tired of seeing women doing exercises that aren't going to give them the shape that they want, but they think they should do because it's ab work, right? Like not all ab exercises are created the same. You shouldn't be doing high amounts of certain exercises. There are other exercises that I do more of, and I have clients do more of, especially if you have more, you want to really work on like your lower belly pooch and you want to have nice, kind of like nice ab lines. So it really is, you guys hear me preach this all the time. It really does come down to doing the right exercises in the right amounts. All right. And that is why I created my my Road to Snatch. It's my 3-day ab challenge that you guys are free to join at any given time. I just dropped the link here, and it's also showing here on the video. And that way you can see the exact exercises that I do in my routine to create the waist that I want without causing myself to become wider. Because like I said, I don't naturally have a narrow waist. Okay. So don't worry if you have been doing weighted ab stuff, don't feel like it's not the end of the world. I promise you're going to get it together. But yes, that is something that you guys can totally start doing right away. They're full length videos. That I'm actually doing the exercises, right? So I'm not just giving you a list of stuff to follow. Like it's me doing the exercises right there with you. You can do it at home. You can do it at the gym. Wherever you want to do your training is where you can do it. So, right, like I said, the link to check all that out is right down here, and you guys can go and sign up for that for free right now today. So let's see. Lakeisha says, I want the nice ab lines. Yes. So listen, a big part of having like nice ab lines, and I touched on this a little bit in my last live stream last week, you have to train your abs. So please don't let what I just shared with you scare you out of doing abs. Like, oh my God, Brit said my waist too thick already. I can't train abs at all. I'm not saying that, right? Like I said in the beginning of this video, your abs, like they're a muscle. So what happens is, in order for you have to have them, like you have to condition the muscle in order for it to have some kind of shape to it. So you got to do ab work in order to kind of have those nice lines, but you also have to lose the fat, like I was talking about in step 1 of today, in order for you to reveal those nice ab lines, okay? And you can 100% do that if your diet is where it needs to be. A lot of people feel like they're going to do more crunches and they're going to crunch their way to some ab lines. That's only part of the equation. All right. So guys, if you guys missed that live stream on how to better burn belly fat, make sure you check it out. It is still available on my channel, so you guys can go back and check that on out. All right. So the third thing, and this is something that I have been getting asked about over and over and over again, especially you guys who follow me personally, you know that I started doing this in, what's this now, 2021. I really started doing this a lot heavily in January of 2020. And a big reason why I decided to go this route and really give this a try is because I had heard over the years of it being really effective. And I'm like, I don't really know if it is or not. And then I got back into competing in 2019 after taking like a long 10-year break. And once I saw myself when I was super lean, I had been training my abs, wasn't doing the weighted stuff like I was telling you guys, I still did not have I wasn't narrow, right, in my waist. And when you on stage and next to nothing, showing your whole self to the world, you can really see what you're working with, right? Especially when you begin standing next to other women who you're competing against. And I quickly realized that I was very blocky in my waist in comparison to some of the other women. So I started doing tons of research. You guys know I don't do anything without looking into it because I want to know the ins and outs because I got questions, okay? And I started noticing a trend in women that were waist training and how their waists were looking, right? So I wanted to see if it was going to work. And honestly, you guys, it definitely, I was surprised by the results I got from waist training. I really was. So let me just kind of say this as a disclaimer. Waist training is not going to cause you to lose fat like that. Like, it's not going to do that. Okay. So I don't want anyone listening to this live stream thinking that if you start waist training, it's going to magically make fat disappear, right? You got to do all the things I shared with you guys in my last live stream video. And you also got to take into consideration what I'm mentioning in this video today. But when you have your diet where it needs to be, your workouts where it needs to be, and you add weight training into the mix, what I noticed with my own body was that I became more narrow. So I waist train consistently, and I'm still waist training to this day, you guys, because I'm not done yet. But I started waist training in January of last year, and I did it consistently, okay? Consistently all last year long, okay? Until the point where I got back on stage again in November and December of last year, and I did a side-by-side view of my stage shots, and I could see that I was more narrow last year than I was the year before, and my weight was actually higher, okay? So it wasn't like, oh, I lost more fat and that's why. Like, no, I actually had put on muscle, so I was heavier on stage, but my waist was more narrow than what it was the year before. The only thing that I changed, you guys, was waist training. That was it, because I was super consistent the year prior to that because I was in it to win it. I was super consistent last year, still being consistent on things now. So there is definitely a time and a place for it. Like I said, I'm not naturally narrow. So I found that after consistent use of waist trainers, they make a difference, you guys. So I'm always asked, like, okay, Brit, well, which brand do you use? Which brand do you recommend? I have actually been waist training for, since like I said, consistently since early last year, but I've tried so many brands over the years. The brand that I 100% recommend is one by Squeeze Me Skinny. A big reason why, hey teacher, a big reason why I love the Speedy and Skinny waist trainers is because, you guys, they really hold you in. So I'm actually going to show you guys one of them here that I have. So not only do they hold you in, right? They have hooks here. So it's kind of like a bra. So you guys know how your bras have like those 3 hooks and you can kind of pick which one you want it to be. I like these style because it's going to hold you in more, okay? Now, a lot of people feel like, oh my God, I can't breathe if I have those things on. If you can't breathe in a waist trainer, first of all, this brand is the most comfortable brand that I've used over all of the ones that I've used in my whole decade plus long being on this fitness journey. But if you can't breathe, it's too small, okay? Now, it should definitely feel like it's holding you in, but you should never feel like you're being short of breath or anything like that. And I have noticed a difference, like I said, in my own self wearing this. And I've also noticed a difference in my clients who have started consistently waist training as well. And also what I like about these is they have some that are like this. So they're super fun colors. This one has like rainbows, donuts, and ice cream cones on it. They have some that are leopard. They have some that are cheetah. They make some that make you sweat more. I have that one on right now, so I'm going to go train right after this. But they have a wide array, and they have different lengths too, right? Because you know how like some women, you just might have a longer torso, or you might have like a fupa. You want to be able to cover all that, right? Like you want all that cover and in, and that is the reason why I like that brand, because they also make some that are longer, that are 12 inches as opposed to 10 inches. I just put the link here so you guys can go check them out. At the time of this video, they actually have a 20% off. Yes, 15 to 20% off. Don't quote me on that. Sale going on right now on all of their waist trainers. So if you guys want to check it out, I totally recommend that you guys just try one of them out. I think the gym ones for daily use is a great one for you guys to start. If you use my discount code Brit, that will save you some coins at checkout, and it'll also help me out, help out the channel and everything there. But waist training is also something that you can use in your toolkit in addition to everything else that I mentioned, just to better help pull in your waist even faster and reshape it in a way that it just won't naturally do on its own. Okay. Because like I said, you guys, there's no way that I would have had that more narrow shape had I not started waist training last year. And I'm super excited to see how I'll look next year when I get back on stage again, and I'm backstage lean and everything like that, to see what another year of continued use is going to really do. So let me know, guys, if you have any questions that you'd like me to cover. Like I shared before in the beginning of the stream, my thank you for you guys joining me here, rocking with me here on a Saturday, is to answer any questions that you guys leave while I am still live. So while you're thinking of questions, because I know there's like a little delay from when you posted to when I see it, I'll just kind of do a quick little recap. So just so you guys know, when it comes to really creating a more narrow waist, you got to make sure that you have lost fat, enough fat for you to see what your actual waist shape is, okay? Because a lot of people got some nice hourglass waist that's hiding underneath there, but because you don't lose enough fat and you don't lean out enough, you never really get a chance to kind of see it. Or you might be feeling like, oh, I don't genetically have that. But actually, boo, you do. You just didn't know it because you never allowed your body to truly get into a fat loss phase where you could strip away the fat to reveal those nice ab lines like Lakeisha was talking about earlier in today's live. The second thing that you guys can do is to build your upper body. So when you are building your upper body, what I mean by that is I'm not talking about like lifting to the point where you look, you don't look how you want to look, right? So many women tell me, I don't look like a man, I don't look bulky. I'm not saying look bulky, but the rounder your shoulders are, the wider your back is, the smaller your waist is going to look. It's going to create that it's going to create the illusion, right, of you having a smaller waist, even if you don't have a smaller waist, okay? So don't shy away from training your back, training your shoulders. Those are going to be the two muscle groups that are going to really help you to create that more illusion that I'm talking about here, okay? The third thing, guys, is to avoid certain ab exercises. So if you are really wide, just in general, I don't care, you could be narrow, okay? You could already have an hourglass shape and you just greedy and want some more, okay? You could be in that boat. If you are in that boat, first of all, I'm a little jelly because I'm not, but it's all good. But if you are, then don't, even if you are, still stay away from weighted oblique exercises, weighted lower ab exercises. Those are not going to create the overall look that you want, and they can add size and add mass to your waistline. And I know you definitely do not want that, especially if you're watching this live today, okay? And if you are struggling with knowing like what exercises you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, then hop on over and take my Road to Snatch. It is my 3-day ab challenge that you can start right away. It outlines 3 full-length workout videos that you can do over and over again. They're the same exercises that I do. They don't pull in anything that I've talked about not doing, and it is free for you guys to join. Oh, let me see. Lakeisha says, I enjoyed the 21-day Snatch Waist Challenge. Oh, good. And that's also another program that I have too, guys. So if you guys go to snatchwaistchallenge.com, you can check out my 21-day program, and that is where I give you guys a full-on 21-day workout program, eating plan designed for fat loss, snack options, total body training program, right? So it's called the Snatch Waist Challenge, but it's not just about the waist. We total body over here. Because like I said, you got to create that illusion if you want to have, that really kind of hourglass shape and that narrow waist. So snatchwaistchallenge.com, you guys can check that out. And the last thing that you guys can do is to waist train, because that's going to help pull you. And like I said, waist training, this is one of like the extras, right? That's like the icing on the cupcake, okay? The foundation are all these other things, right? The waist training is just something that you can use to supplement your journey, to help pull you in a way that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do on your own. Like I shared with you guys, my favorite brand is by Squeeze Me Skinny. You guys can check them out there, and you can also save using my discount code Brit at checkout, okay? All right, so let me see. I'm gonna now answer a couple of questions that you guys left here. Oh, this is a great one. Okay, so teacher says, do you suggest colonics? All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water, because first of all, that's another thing. You want to get your waist snatched, you gotta stay hydrated. So just give me a couple seconds, guys. Hold on. A little slow on my gallon today. Don't judge me. Okay, so teacher said, do you suggest colonics? Here's my take on that. And I feel the same way about colonics, detoxes, cleanses, laxatives, like even like the natural laxatives, skinny teas, all those kind of things. So they all kind of do the same thing. Your body will naturally eliminate waste and naturally cleanse itself if you just eat clean, right? The body is an amazing vehicle and vessel, right? So when you begin to give it whole foods that are really nutrient dense, it will naturally eliminate waste and toxins from your body that it was holding on to. So I don't necessarily think colonics are necessary in order for you to get weight loss going or jumpstart your progress or anything like that. I really don't. Now I know people say, oh, I had a colonic and I lost a bunch of weight. Well, yeah, you're going to lose a bunch of weight because you lost a bunch of water weight because you pooped it out. Like, you know what I mean? So you are going to, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're not going to see a drop on the scale number when doing those kind of things, right? Whether it's a laxative, whether it's one of those poop skinny teas that they have all over Instagram, that they sell in false dreams and hopes about. Or if it's even maybe a cleanse or a juice cleanse or something like that. Anything that you do that's going to make you eliminate waste, yes, you're going to weigh less after that. But it's not necessarily tapping into fat loss storages, which is what you need to tap into if you want to have a certain appearance to your body and also your waistline. Okay, so those are my thoughts on colonics. Let's see. Dom says, come on, water girls. Thank you. Thank you. She said you got this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I am. I will finish that gallon. I'm claiming it. It's live, so that's how you know it's real. I will have that gallon finished today. But that is also a big part of it too, guys, is staying hydrated, because not only when you drink water, not only does it help your body to deliver nutrients to your muscles and just help things run more efficiently, but it also helps you to decrease your water weight and decrease bloating, especially ladies that time of the month. So everything really does kind of play a part with this whole thing here. So let's see. Lakeisha says, do you have training videos to help achieve the nice ab lines and round the shoulders? Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all are bringing the heat with these questions today. So actually, I am getting ready to launch a program in June. It's called Build Your Curves. And that is exactly what this program is going to be designed to do. So it is designed for women who want to create a certain appearance with their body. So I'm talking like a snatch waist, so those nice ab lines that we're talking about, the nice kind of like rounder shoulders, the rounder booty, the fuller legs, right? Because all those things, if you're bigger, if you're like wider here, bigger here, you're going to look smaller here. That is what Building Your Curves is all about. And I am super, super excited. The program has not released yet, but what I'm going to do here is I will drop down the link. Let me just go ahead and grab it. So that way you guys can join on the wait list and you will be the first to get notified when I do launch it. So I'm going to drop that link here for Build Your Curves. And that way you guys can hop onto the wait list, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of early bird bonuses with you guys. So if you are catching this video after I have launched the next round of the challenge that's going to be kicking off really, really soon, then don't worry, you can still join the waitlist and you'll be notified of the next round when it reopens, okay? Because once I close the registration, I want to keep it to like a really small, intimate number of women, so that way I can make sure that everyone inside this program gets optimal results. And I can't do that if I have 75 plus people in this program trying to build their curves at the same dang on time, all right? All right, you guys. Well, as always, thank you guys so much for joining me on today's live. If you guys have any other questions that you would like for me to feature, any other topics, I'm always looking for content ideas from you guys. And just let me know. And if you have any questions at all about any of the programs I mentioned today, whether it's the Build Your Curves that's going to be launching pretty soon, the 3-day ab challenge that you guys can get started with for free, or even picking out a waist trainer, you guys know how to reach me. I'm at Brit Inez, ran across all social media. Probably the best way to contact me would be for you guys to DM me on Instagram, because my Facebook messages, we just get lost in the sauce. So, all right, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining. And